So I think in life, as you say, you don't know, you'll find most of your friends, even if you go to hell, it means there are consequences to each and every action that we engage in, both when you're alive and when in the spirit world. So I think just do right at all times. Choices have consequences.
Please repeat that again, yo.
Well, true. I guess you don't know where you're going, so you need to make the journey as good as possible. I don't know, that you can actually determine where you go by how you behave and what you do now. I mean, there are many people who say there's no heaven, there's no hell. Well, okay, so let's assume that there is. And if heaven is the great place and hell is the bad place, then you need to do what you do to make sure that you go to the good place, I guess.
I mean, I look at it from the aspects of, at the end of the day, each and every single person will test death. Each and every single person will transition to one point or the other. And with that, despite the challenges that you face today, some would really bring you down to a point of, I'm almost at the limit. But whatever you do today is what people will be talking about tomorrow. So today, Raila Odinga passed on, but people still talk of his fight for democracy in the country and his contribution to where the country is today. So at the end of the day, we speak about the legacy and what he did when he was alive. So live today, because time is of essence. Like once a minute has passed, it's gone. Now is what is important. So use now well.
True. Absolutely. I think there are many lessons to be learned just from that one. So saying a very good morning to everybody who tunes in this morning. Our live streams are up on YouTube, on Facebook, and on X. Karibuni sana sana. And our audience on KTN as we get into the Situation Room for the last time in November this week. And thank you for always tuning in and keeping it with us today. So let's say a quick good morning to you as we get into things today. Good morning from Nairobi, Pan-African Kenyan. We see you. Good morning. And George Adimo is tuned in from Rongo. Robert Ibogo tuning from Mombasa this morning. Tupak Shakur, sawa. This is Tupo area. Okay, good to have you in the room this morning. Karibu sana. Tuned in from Mombasa is Peter Kiari. He says, to an ant, a coconut shell filled with water is an ocean. All about perspective, I guess. How you see it. Kisa Daniel tuned in and says, watching live from UG. Jimmy Munothi, good morning, Spice. What happened in Narok? Are we creeping towards a position like our Jiranis? All very interesting to see. Tibbs Muge says, good morning, Spice FM team. Linda Gola says, good morning, people. ¿Cómo estás, Aceto?
Good morning.
Estoy muy bien.
But I thought you were going to answer in Spanish. No? Okay.
I was speaking Portuguese.
You're speaking Portuguese. Okay, obrigado. Obrigado.
De nada. Hey.
Okay.
See.
SLB, they says, good morning, people. We are listening to you. Don't you feel it's time for God to what? Don't you feel it's time for God to intervene since some people don't want to grab the Indian Ocean? God have mercy on us. Enjoy your day, people. Well, yeah, it is time. Eric O'War says, good morning, guys. Mungai is tuned in this morning and says, can see clearly now. Good morning, team. Can you see clearly now? Yes. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
That's Jimmy Cliff's song.
That's Jimmy Cliff,
The late.
It's a good one. Rest in peace, Jimmy Cliff. Cecilia Ngwenyi says, good morning, Team Spice. Tuned in from New Jersey. God is good to Jenge Taifa. Kabisa. Mashari and Jerry is tuned in this morning from Portland in Oregon with love. Asante Sana. And Koech Kennedy is watching live from Kericho. You're indeed a big media for enlightening Kenyans. Thank you for tuning in every morning to help us have this conversation. Cecilia says, exactly 1 month to Christmas. Mandazi is Zidi.
Kabisa.
1 month to Seto's birthday. Yes. We'll not forget he's a Christmas baby. Mary's boy child.
Yeah.
James Gav says, good morning. Good morning to Mewamis, by the way. Sawa. Madly African says, good morning, team TSR. Welcome back, Aseto. We missed you.
Missed you guys too.
Jimmy Munuthi says, Asante Sana, and welcome back, Jimmy. Welcome back, Aseto. I think the Situation Room is addictive, says Maida. The other day when you were off air, I almost suffered a nervous breakdown. Those are the kind of drugs we like. Those ones we say don't go to rehab. Sawa.
Let me tell you. When you were coming back from Brasilia.
Yeah.
got to Doha,
Yeah.
and there is a specific area where we had to use because of coming from South America, so there is fear of drugs being whatever.
La droga.
Yo, it's different
Yeah,
coming
it?
from South America.
Oh, really?
The way you're treated is a little bit on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to go through, and then now it doesn't help that I'm black. I was wearing a hoodie, so I went through.
Now you just look like
I went through a second X-ray screening, just so they make sure. Yeah.
Wow.
At some point, I had to actually talk down that officer because while he was doing his thing, he touched me inappropriately, and it became a fight.
I thought you wanted to fight somebody.
I was like, you can't touch me.
Hey,
like
bro,
that. I'm
hey,
sorry.
step back.
Please, yeah, you can't touch me like that. Yeah, whatever you're looking for, it's not here. Take me to the X-ray machine.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Look at how Joe's looking at you.
That tall man looked at me and was like, "Who did you just?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can't touch me like that. I'm sorry." Yeah.
Okay.
Happens.
Okay.
I don't identify as a black person. I identify as an African.
Yeah.
And a conversation for another day, because it's even when you're filling all these international forms.
Yeah.
There is no slot for you to tick that you're an African.
No, there
Yeah.
isn't.
You're black.
You're black or you're other.
Or other.
Yeah.
So I am not black. I am African, and I like the standing up for our own space.
I
in
like
life,
that,
because
actually.
That's how we need to respect one another. It's okay. We respect the scrutiny, but it has to be humane.
Yeah.
It must be humane.
Yeah.
Treat me with dignity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you have an X-ray machine, why are you touching?
why are you
Let me
touching?
go to that X-ray machine so that you just look at whatever it is you want to look, because the X-ray
Yes,
machine looks deeper. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, this could go in a different direction, but okay. Fiery Red says, "Yay, Aseto was back. Good morning, Team Spice. Karibu sana. Aseto umetulete nini kutoka Belem, Brazil?
Please tell them.
Usiseme umeleta proverbs too.
Please tell them.
Sasa hiyo ameleta tumesha kula. Sasa sijui.
Bas.
Oh, yours is still remaining.
Mine is still alive.
Okay, yeah, I have another one. You see, now this is just me being selfish. Iko hapa, don't
least,
worry.
yes.
He didn't come back empty-handed.
Yeah.
But his mother raised him right. He was not brought up by wolves. So we'll eat on your behalf.
Yeah.
He said it's for everyone.
Yeah.
But now that we can't give all of you, we'll tell you how it tastes. Abi?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a combination of white and dark chocolate. So, yeah.
The perfect nexus, isn't it? Emily Osena says, good morning. Karibu sana. Always good to see people who don't comment all the time, then getting into the room every now and then. Mbona kuko na giza jamani? Kuko na shida gani? Giza wapi? Is it just me? Are the lights on?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds G. Michael Olande says, good morning, Team Spice. Dr. Venfic is tuned in this morning and says, good morning from Tudor. Cyrus Yegon says, good morning, Spice. I love your voices, I swear. We Asante sana. Thank you so much. Aaron Rashid says, good morning, Spice family. We missed you, Aseto. Welcome back.
Asante.
Sindio?
Asante sana.
Welcome back, Aseto, says Christopher. Rogore says, tuned in from Maseno. Atiano, good morning, mes amis. Okay, did you mean to spell it like that? Because I don't know if I should say it on air. A blessed day. Atiano, good morning to you. Jennifer Ateni says, good morning, guys. Ayende Derek is tuned in and says, Nakuru is cool. I can imagine that it is. Petersburg in the UK is where Nelson Mugai is tuning in from and says, good morning. Abdullah Hussein says, good morning, tuning from Garissa. I love that people are tuning in from all different parts and corners of the world. Karibu, Karibu. Calvin Kemboy is tuning in this morning, watching live from Manchester. And Siuma says, good morning, tuning from Canairo. Let's uphold the values enshrined in our constitution. Good one, yeah. You are doing a tremendous work, says Solomon Conchella. Thank you so much. And good morning to you. Good morning, Team Spice, tuning from Juba in South Sudan. Wangi Juma is also tuned in this morning and says, how are you this blessed Tuesday? We are fine. He says to the UDA government, God's mercy anew every morning. We are flowers at one time. Okay, that's for sure. Izaki says, good morning, Team Spice, tuned in from Somalia, waiting for the Bold newspaper. We are bringing it. Usijali. Good morning, TSR family. I said, while you were away, we were given sweets by our governor. Where? Hand on head. Because what? If you want to know how somebody, you see the way you brought a gift for us, and sasa because umerudi umetuletea kitu. Sasa the people in Mbeere North, they are being told, sasa tumeona the way in which we can show you that we care about you, nikukupatia sweetie, ndio ukuje utuvotia. Sweetie.
Yeah. Sweetie.
Yeah.
One would expect that a governor would actually put up a factory that manufactures sweets.
Maybe, you know,
employment, you know. Yeah.
Or maybe the sweets that she was giving are symbolic for such things to come in the future. Do you understand?
Madhuiti na makeki.
Nakuja. I heard somebody else was giving mandazi somewhere, but hey.
Yeah, the cost of a vote has been revised and sweetened. So the governor is just acting right.
Well done, Joe. Hey, okay. Let's get through this quickly, can we? Amesema asetu ni kichwa ngumu sababu hataki kushikwa kwa nini tafadhali.
A few people are allowed to touch me like that. That would be my wife, my mother, and my doctor.
You're sticking to this thing, eh?
Yes.
Okay. I said no. And my doctor. Gosh, it must have been quite invasive.
Yeah.
Thomas Osoro says, good morning. Good to see you guys. Good morning. Karibu sana. Gekota says, good morning. Princess Indu, yes. Dennis, EVE, Joe. It's a shame that the government is using security personnel during a mini election. Watching from Miami. I'm telling you, this by-election is a general election. Good morning from Machakos. Wambua, good morning. Karibu sana Seto. Thank you guys. Asante sana Alfred for tuning in. We should thank you. Good to see you guys. Calvin Omondi, good morning Team Spice. Waiting for the bold newspaper. Na inakuja na moto kama mandazi. Sindio? All right. Let's go to the bold newspaper and look into the news. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this morning, as you do every day. Always lovely to have you in the room getting into these conversations. All right. Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard. The headline on The Standard today, Partisan IEBC. And there is a picture of the IEBC chairperson, Erastus Ethekon. There's his picture. If you didn't know what he looked like, you can get a picture, you can get a copy of The Standard today. And you can have that. Yeah. The headline reads thusly. The reconstitution of the IEBC was meant to redeem an electoral agency long tainted by state interference and timid leadership. But days before by-election seen as a dress rehearsal for the 2027 general election, the commission is already struggling to shake off doubts that dogged its formation. It cleared a UDA candidate despite EACC advice. Some officials have been accused of bias, and the opposition is warning of state-sponsored violence and poll manipulation. Can Chairperson Ethekon calm the swirling storm? You must ask. And there's, of course, a headline that was done before. There is as your insert. This story was carried on the 6th of June on The Standard. Godfathers have it in terms of who chose whom when it came to the selection of the commissioners of the IEBC. So it's up to you to put the pieces together. Looking into other headlines today, because we're going to, of course, look into that a little bit more. Ruto's 5 trillion shilling infrastructure projects raise questions over transparency. Oh, by the way, Aseto, they said that they're going to do more infrastructure projects, and it's going to come to a cost of 5 trillion shillings, but they're not going to borrow the money, neither are they going to raise taxes. So it's possible that somebody's going to rub a bottle somewhere and a genie's going to pop out of it with 5 trillion shillings. Or, you know how the genie comes out of the thing and then they say, I grant you 5 wishes or 3 wishes. So I think it's the stuff of the genies. I don't know where the money is going to come from, but it's not going to come from taxes, so you've got nothing to worry about. And they're not going to borrow anymore because, you know, that's so 2023.
How exactly does a government raise money, if not through taxes?
Sidri, but this one...
And not borrowing.
This headline says that now those questions that you're asking are raising questions over transparency in terms of where the money would come from. So
he talks of privatization. So he's going to dispose of our assets, which we paid and bought through our taxes. And then he talks of PP and P.
Yeah, 3 P.
3 Ps.
Triple P.
Yeah, and you see, constitutionally speaking, the government has no right to dispose our assets and use that money as they wish, because that is taxpayers' money. It's still our tax.
Yes.
KPC, any other parastatal is ours. So that money should go to the consolidated fund, and then it goes through the budget, then it is allocated. So he cannot independently claim, I'm going to sell KMC, KPC, whichever it is, and then build you a road. No,
and we're going to do this with Uganda.
It doesn't work like
We're going to do it with Uganda so that Uganda will say that they will stop stealing the Indian Ocean. I mean, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
It's not monopoly.
Stay woke, Kenyans. Stay woke. It's our money.
Yeah. So, other headlines. Remember that there was a rally driver that passed on in his home about 2 years ago now, and that it was said that his girlfriend at the time was going to be charged with his murder. Well, the court examined crucial evidence in Maxine trial. Rally driver Maxine Wahome in the docks over the death of her boyfriend, and fellow rally driver mechanic Asad Khan. So that continues. We'll look into that. Folks in ACK Kapenguria are fighting. Ooh-wee. Why? My friend Dennis Okari always says, if you see people are fighting, follow the money.
It's ironical that church disputes have to be intervened with a court order.
Can you imagine?
It's ironic. One would just hope that you just pray about it. Milango gereza inafunguka.
I think the church, in my opinion, I stand not to be corrected, has lost its its position in the society. The moral high ground that we regarded the church with continues to decline.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. There's a story about folks who are up in arms over Russian recruitment of the Putin decree to recruit foreign fighters. Kenya's paying a heavy price for that. In July 2025, Putin signed a decree allowing foreigners to serve during mobilization. What the decree did not specify was how the foreigners would be recruited. So that story is covered on page 4. We can look into that into details. You could be here applying for a job. In Europe, in Eastern Europe, and you're told that it's a security job. It's good pay. You take the job. Next thing,
in the front
you show up and you're
line.
given a uniform and a baklava, and you're going on for the thing.
Yeah.
Makongeni residents fight back against abrupt violent evictions. Guys, Sunday night was very, very sad to witness. And anybody with, not the full, even half, fine, quarter of a brain. Anybody with a quarter of a brain would want to imagine that these folks are being kicked out of their houses with their children and their belongings in the evening on Sunday. Where do you expect them to go? The irony of it is that they're being moved so that you can put up affordable housing units. Yeah.
But this also comes behind the premises that during the campaign period, there's one statement that was made. During our administration, you will never see Kenyans being abducted or rejected as we see today.
Yeah.
We forget so easily, eh?
Yeah. But I'm glad they found some relief. That the eviction has been stopped.
Yes.
But as Dennis says, a lot was promised that there should be no eviction during the night or during the day. If it happens, you'll be moved with dignity to be structured. But here we are.
Indeed.
Yeah.
IEBC on the spot for clearing UDA candidate. That was despite a corruption probe. It wouldn't be the first time that we've also asked questions and wondered, excuse me, you people said that the bare minimum is a university degree. You've said that you must not have any cases of whatever. We've seen people run with those tainted things, dimples notwithstanding. And they still got into those positions. So, make your stand and stick to it. Makarini, ODM on edge as opposition gets boost. We did see also on the other side of things that Homa Bay town MP, Peter Kaluma, was quite upset yesterday. And he said, come on, guys, we're in broad-based government. You can't be supporting...
Why is it broad-basing?
What? Surely. Doesn't look too good on that front. So campaigning is over. They cannot campaign anymore as of yesterday. That was the last day. And so today is everybody preparing, brushing up the thing, and then tomorrow they go to the polls. That's kind of what it looks like. Over to you, sir.
Daily Nation. The poison in our food. What exactly are we talking about? The European Union continues to export pesticides it has banned from use within its own borders to African nations, with Kenya being a destination for more than 400 tons of the deadly cancer-causing chemicals. A report by a Swiss-based organization reveals. So They've banned it not to be used in their countries, but they still export too. One would hope that blood is still red, whether in Europe or in Africa, and death is the same, and cancer is the same. So it doesn't make sense to ship it. But here we are. What are our governments then doing about it? But what are we talking about? Now, we have clodane insecticide, 2,4,5-T herbicide. These are just the number of the pesticides that are being shipped into the country, and some have been withdrawn from the Republic as well. Now, development. And here is about first world ambition on track. Malaysian Prime Minister together with President William Ruto at State House. And President William Ruto's push to steer Kenya towards first world status has received backing from visiting Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, who said the goal is achievable. The man spoke highly of affordable housing that Kenya is undertaking. But even as we talk about affordable housing, we were promised 230,000 units annually. That means by now we should be having almost 1 million.
Yeah, so
units.
The million that you have is 1,600.
600.
Yeah, that's 1 million.
Yes.
And if you look at the numbers and the amount they have collected, you'd be amazed.
Yeah.
Because they're in billions, but the projects that are running, whatever phase they are in, they don't even amount to 25% of the money collected. That's why they have enough to invest in bonds, which is also illegal. Like, criminality is at another level.
All eyes now on IEBC as campaigns wind up. 181 candidates square off. Campaigns for Thursday's by-elections marked by widespread political tensions, violence and fierce rivalry officially concluded yesterday, 48 hours before polling stations opened.
It's interesting that you said that there are how many? 80 what?
Yeah, we
There are
have 181 candidates.
181 candidates, and you would think there were 6.
It's the same thing that happened across the borders. How many candidates did we have?
16.
16. How many did you know? Only one.
Right.
You know, man who lost home in Mukuru caught up in Makongeni evictions. So, yeah, there's that as well. So just highlighting as well what is happening in Makongeni. Many who come from that area call it Okongo.
Okay.
And TSC announces 9,000 vacancies to replace retired and dead teachers. So the Teacher Service Commission has advertised 9,159 positions as it seeks to replace teachers who exited service through natural attrition. Now, case against TSC boss hiring to go to full trial as well. And we also have importing death. EU continues to make and sell banned pesticides. That's a story that we've just highlighted earlier, and the story of Malaysian Prime Minister saying Kenya on track to join First World, and no end in sight to Uhuru Gachagwa's political feud. Former DP has taken on Kenyatta's party for fielding candidate in Narok MCA race. So Gachagua is having a problem with the Jubilee fielding a candidate in Narok.
Why?
But these are different political parties.
Why?
So what's the problem?
Yeah.
See, may the best candidate win.
Exactly.
Enda uza sera. Kama yako haitoshi mboga.
Where watu wa Belem mmekuja na fujo.
Let me tell you, I was in the middle of fire in Belém. So please, I'm alive. Let me speak. Come on, what do you have?
Well, today we have the Star, and the Star is shining, huh? The front page reads, mounting accusations, cases threaten to derail preparations. So this is regarding the IBC, new battles, which are inside, and they say there is an attempt to abolish National Tallying Center. You know, Kia Mtota, the senator, or the presidential aspirant, has moved to court, saying that the IBC has been overreaching. Indeed, the Constitution clearly says that the chair is a mere returning officer for the presidential results. They should not do tallying. They should just say, this is what we have. Yes. Everything happens at the constituency. So Mtata, I think
he's right, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
right.
Yeah, he's in line with the constitution. And that's how it should be. So this whole thing of bombers has just been a mere show that they put up. Unfortunately, if it played out well, no one would have a problem. That story continues on page 4 and 5 of the Star. Page 2. Do you know the size and the distance between your belly button from your chest? It's interesting. That is seen to be a sign of beauty.
Excuse me?
Yeah, page 2, I'm just starting what
From
the
where?
Star is saying.
From your where?
From your chest to your belly.
So where does my chest start?
That's a good question.
Well, the
Under
lower
your
chest.
chin.
Well, they're saying it's a sign of beauty, depending.
It's long.
So,
it's nice.
so am I only supposed to go with a tape measure?
Yes, they have measurements that indicate
Oh, okay.
the appreciated standard of showcasing the signs of beauty. Anyway,
Okay.
surgeons are on it, and they're saying why Kenyan bellies defy global beauty standards. It's the Star,
Continue.
page 2. It reads and says, do you regard your belly button, also called the navel, as an attractive part of your anatomy? Most people do not, but plastic surgeons do. They use something called the golden ratio, a number around 1.62, believed for years to represent perfect natural proportions.
Yeah, I actually know that people actually go and get their belly button, like looked a certain way.
Yeah.
And that if you have an innie or an outie, a lot of people... Never mind, please continue.
So cosmetic
I'll
surgeons
tell
have
you
a
later.
lot to say about that.
Okay.
Page 3 of the Star says that the rights defenders to learn skills of modern activism. You see, we are living in changing times, and how we've been interacting as a society, as humans of this globe, things keep changing. So today, grassroots rights campaigners are set to converge at a city hotel for a 3-day human rights academy from today to empower them on modern human rights work. Mounted by Defenders Coalition, this year's academy is the 10th edition of the training, which is a nationally recognized platform dedicated to strengthening the safety, resilience, and effectiveness of human rights defenders across Kenya. I think it is important for them to just learn how best to continue engaging in advocating for human rights, because we do need to stand up. And you realize some of the archaic ways we've been doing it. Nowadays, people don't come out with twigs.
Yeah.
People will tweet. People will mobilize online. So,
I saw the same thing happened at COP30, because it is in 3 years, activists were actually allowed to be part of the process. But with them, they were armed with very intelligent individuals who sat in those plenaries to push the agenda. So you find on the final text, the civil society had their say as well.
Right,
so just looking at how
Yeah.
our civil society groups and pressure groups as well will be empowered, not just to appear on streets, but to appear in these spaces and on these tables.
Assume the platforms where the voice can mean something and be developed into an actionable plan. Then we have a caricature. Some lights went on and someone was found gagging people. That is still on page 3 of the Star. I don't know, but that looks like Mama Jirani, according to the flag. Well, the cartoons are very expressive.
True. They really are.
Page 4 says new battles, IEBC new battles. The inside attempt to do away with the National Tallying Center. That's what the front page was talking about.
Yeah.
And I think Kenyans need to pay attention to that, because elections mean everything, as we all know. They can put us plunge us into chaos or plunge us into peaceful transition. Maybe lastly, we have page 6 on the Star. Opposition unity put to test as Ruto spies blamed for division.
Yeah.
I think now people are trying to align. So the united opposition is battling fresh turmoil after senior figures within the coalition openly traded accusations of infiltration, each party claiming the other is harboring President William Ruto's political spies. What began as murmurs escalated into a full-blown blame game last week when DCP Deputy Party Leader Cleophas Malala publicly accused senior members of DAP Kenya of acting as moles dispatched to destabilize the fragile coalition from within.
The coalition is fragile.
Well,
It is
I did not know.
didn't you? Well, finally, on page 8, Kenyans are ready to pay taxes, but wastage is a concern. One Grace Mogo was quoted saying, "I don't refuse to pay taxes, but what are we paying for? Schools are struggling, clinics have no medicine, garbage stays 2 weeks before collection. You feel like the money disappears somewhere else."
It's a big deal. You should then be able to see a direct correlation between what you're taxed for and then what is done in the country. There are places on this planet where that actually happens, that you can actually draw a line between what you've been taxed and what you see around you. It's the way it should be. I don't know.
It's tangible.
Taking a guess that perhaps you want to do that. The front page of the Business Daily talks about how banks are squeezing savers to grow lending margins by 24 billion shillings. The World Bank, of course, sticking their neck out to be that cousin who nobody asked their opinion about. Sorry, did I say what I think? Weak competition in key sectors, stifling job growth is what they're saying. You need to have competition in some sectors so that, more people are then on the job grid. I agree with that, but, one would ask a question. Yeah, so monopolies are not the language that the World Bank likes to speak. You want more people in the game so that you have more people who work, but at the end of the day, it's so that you can tax more people so you can pay your loans. Just don't think that the World Bank is giving free advice. That's it. They're not going to come and tell you, you know what, you guys have competition within your sectors so that you can have more people on the job grid. Nah, it's so that at the end of the day, you can collect more money through which you can pay them. Sorry. And plus, they're not giving you this advice if you don't owe them money. Sawa, let's just get that right.
Yeah, they're securing their own interests.
Absolutely. Yeah. Come on. Can we look into the story real quick? Because I know we'll be discussing it into 7. IEBC's Ethicon under fire as poll tension escalates for the election. This by-election is not just this by-election.
Yeah.
This by-election is essentially the dress rehearsal for the 2027 election. That a lot of things that happen tomorrow... What's today? Thursday. Sorry. A lot of things that happen on Thursday are then going to give you a view into how things will be in the next year and a half when you go to the polls for the general election. That and many people know that the political future rides on how people will make a decision on Thursday. And so from that, there are people who are waiting to see because they want to stamp the authority. There are people who are waiting to see because then they want to chart their course after that and see which direction that they will go in. Or there are people who will say, okay, well, I'm doomed or I'm done. Which way am I going to go based on how this is all going to happen? It's also a dress rehearsal for IEBC. Remember that this is the brand new IEBC, put together in June. But Ethicon is already under fire. They're saying that poll tensions are escalating. And you have one, Justin Muturi, who's the former Attorney General, who said, as far as the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is concerned, I think it is at the beck and call of the government. It is a toothless bulldog, even though the law is there giving it teeth. The law has told it what it can do, but it's not doing it because it's at the beck and call of the powers that be, essentially is what Justin Muturi is saying here. And they're saying that, we saw them trying to show some might by charging 2 candidates in Kasipul, $1 million shillings each. And it was like a slap on the wrist. They said, okay, but you guys behave yourselves, but just don't. And that, an IEBC with teeth that they were willing to use would have done a little bit more. According to Gachagua, he said, and I quote, "It is within my knowledge that the IEBC has a deliberate policy not to deploy commissions or officers from the regions where they come from in the event of an election or by-election. I'm aware that your vice chairperson has assumed the role of managing Magarini by-elections. You are well aware that the commissioner assigned to the coast region is Dr. Lutalala Mukwana." So they said you should not put people from the area as returning officers because they're biased. So there are many things that come out. And I would urge you to get a copy of the Standard and have a look at this story, because they talk about things like armed goons. They say that there should be proper penalties. You shouldn't allow people to just behave the way they want. So as far as they're concerned, IEBC is compromised. So we see what we said, that everybody's figuring out what this will do for them in 2027, but then also opinions already being formed about the IEBC.
I'm also keen to see how the voter will behave, because again, remember, we are at a very unique space where we are saying people are tired of this regime, people want change, people want to vote differently come 2027. Now, those who are participating in the by-elections have an early chance to show and exhibit their anger and their need for change that they want to manifest. So that is one thing I want to see how it plays out. And also, I think, we claim that people mobilize goons and violence during elections, but it just doesn't happen. It is the locals who are mobilized to behave in a specific and certain way, and they are paid. So it is upon them to decide, are we going to be violent? Are we going to be used? Are we going to be peaceful? Because these people who have come into your area to mobilize for the candidates, they are there for a different cause. They're not there for your interest. They were not there before the campaign, and they will not be there after the 27. So let's see the Bereno, the Kariobangi, and all the 23 other places. let's see how they behave.
I think it's really important because you look at IEBC and the powers that they have right now, especially in Kasipul, if you look at the situation in Kasipul even before, it has been dogged with violence all through, you know. So could IEBC then make the tough decision and decide to disqualify both individuals? Because remember, 3 people have died.
Right.
What else do you need for you to say, guys, enough is enough? You guys would not run for elections because so far, based off information that we have, you have imported violence to the people of Kasipul. But like you said, these also speaks a lot about people and Kenyans during electioneering period. The behavior in Kasipul, you'll not tell me it's someone from Nairobi who went to Kasipul to cause all this chaos.
No.
It is the people in Kasipul who are behaving the way they are. And we have to call Kenyans out as well for misbehaving during electioneering period and allowing themselves to be used by politicians. Remember, once these people get to Nairobi,
they forget about you, my friend.
They forget about you. And you go back to bury your own and deal with your problems. If Kenyans do not change and see the need of participating in elections in a free and fair and respectable manner, then we are pretty much not moving anywhere. Like you're saying, if Kenyans are angry, let's see how they will vote during this time.
Take it out on the ballot box. Take out your anger on the ballot box, not on each other. How's that for a quote that we can pin up somewhere? If you're angry about the way things are happening, take it out on the ballot box and don't take it out on your fellow Kenyans. All right. That's, of course, many more stories to be looked into, form the basis for our conversations as we get into it this morning. And we will then have this conversation moving in towards this time, and it's 7 a.m. Good morning.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.